Hey everyone, what's going on? What's going on this Saturday, October 12th, 2018? Right? How is everyone doing, huh? Well, I'm doing my podcast. It's kind of late on Saturday because uh, I woke up really early at 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I went back to sleep and I woke up around like 11 something, right? And then I was watching movies. I think I watched like a couple of movies. I had that 42-inch TV in my. Is that 44-inch or 42? One of those, right? In my bedroom. Uh, and so what did I watch? I'm trying to remember. I didn't finish Terminator. Which one? Which one is the Terminator Judgment Day? One of those, right? And so yeah, and then I went to my. Actually, this is what I did today. I have that Car2Go membership. Smart cards. Car2Go is a company that actually. It's like renting a car, but you can leave it anywhere. It's a smart car. You can leave it anywhere in its home area, so you don't have to bring it where you pick it up. You can pick it up. You can find it on the app, right, on your phone. And then once you find it, you can reserve it, and it reserves it for you for like half an hour. And if you don't pick it up, then the reservation gets canceled. So I did that. I took my laundry actually. I got my sandwich and then I dropped off my laundry. And then I left the car on the street. Obviously it has to be uh, parked in a legal parking. And it has to be parked. Let's say that tomorrow there is street cleaning, right? And you have to move it. As soon as there's 12-hour difference between the time you left the car, you parked the car, and then the time you have to move, as long as there's 12 hours, you're good. So that's what I did, and then my sister texted me that there's a family friend who is actually hospitalized for lung cancer, and so maybe you should go see. I'm like, okay, which hospital? And see. And she told me Jamaica Hospital, and then I basically picked up another car. I told her, listen, I'll pick you up around 6-ish from your place in Long Island City. She lives in one of those like high-rise buildings. It's a huge building. Yeah, she lives on the 25th floor. She has a nice apartment. Great views, and when you look down on the window, right, it's kind of scary. But she gets great views of the Queensboro Bridge, and then you can also see the skyline of Manhattan. So I picked up another smart car, and then so this is the other thing about these smart cars, right? Sometimes people get tickets, and then there is a engine sign, and there's the tires, the tire pressure sign, and then there are tickets in the parking tickets in the compartments. So what I did was that after I dropped off my first smart car for today, after I dropped off my laundry, I called them when I came home to my apartment, and then I called them, listen, this is the issue. So I just want to make sure that I don't get fucking blamed, you know? It's not, I just dropped it off and this was the issue. And the lady was like, yeah, oh yeah, that's a nice of you. And to do that, thanks for letting us know, and blah, blah. Sorry. So the other thing is that all of a sudden it got fucking cold. It's like 48 degrees now. What? Yeah, it's like fucking 48 degrees. So last night I think I should have turned on the heat because 48 degrees, it's kind of cold, and that's why I think I got a little bit of cold today as well. I might have to turn on the gas P-Tech unit down below my window. Which I did when I got up, and then before taking the shower, I turned on the heat because it was kind of cold, and when you take a shower and when it's cold, it's kind of like oh cold, yeah. So so yeah, I picked up the second car around 5:30, and then I drove to my sister's place in Long Island City. I picked her up, and then we went to Jamaica Hospital. And the guy was there. I thought he would be in a worse condition, but he was actually kind of up, and he could talk. And there was another family friend. This guy, we all come from the same area, mountains, so we are a close knitted family in here in New York. So we know each other, and we look out for each other. So we wished him our well thoughts, and I told him, listen, you looks like you are improving, so I hope you recover soon. And then he was like, I will know on Monday. Like I cross my fingers for you, and just let us know if you need anything from us. And my sister said the same thing. And the guy was nice, he's like, oh, thanks for coming and all that, And they were like, what happened to my sister last year when she came back from fucking Africa, But in any case, so yeah, then we came back, and I parked the smart car in Long Island City and Vernon Boulevard, because Long Island City is also part of the home area of smart cars, So I parked it on Vernon Boulevard on meter parking, because tomorrow meter parking does not. Tomorrow is Sunday, so excuse me, I had that food. It does not go into effect on Sunday, right? So yeah, I left it there, and then I walked to my sister's place, and then she had ordered some amazing food, Vietnamese food, and then we had a little bit of wine. I think I had like a half a glass of wine. She did the same. But one of the dishes that she ordered, one of the beef dishes, like Vietnamese style, those cubes, right? Oh man, that was so good. So I said, listen, can I take half of this? She's like, no, take the whole thing, because I have a lot of food in my fridge. I'm like, thank you. Thank you. And then basically, then I took an Uber, and then I came back, and here I am, doing my podcast, right? Yep. On a Saturday, because Sunday I usually take it easy, prepare for the work day next day. So it's kind of late, 11:36 p.m. And I can't go on and on about. right? I do have a lot of great topics I want to talk about. Um, what's going on? Huh? How are you all doing? Good? Yeah. And then I was listening to, actually watching Bill Maher's show from last night at my sister's place. You know, she has a nice living room and she has that TV just like I had. Although her living room is a little small. But it's good for one person, you know. So, yeah, I was watching Bill Maher's show, you know, the real time with Bill Maher. He brings in a lot of great guests, although it's kind of like political. Although they do talk about a lot of things. And yeah, and yeah, so I was watching that. You know, he does this whole thing with the, you know, at like last 10 minutes he does the new rules, right? Which are fun. I think I'm going to watch the new rules again because I think I missed those. But in any case, I presume you all are having a great Saturday night, and it's kind of cold, so make sure to bundle up. Make sure to, you know, wear warm clothes. Turn on the heat and all that. I don't know what's the what's the weather for the next week. Let me check with Siri. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I apologize. Hey Siri, what's the weather for next week?
Looks like in New York there will be rain and mostly clear skies next week. Daytime temperatures will fluctuate between 51 and 69 degrees, with overnight lows between 41 and 51 degrees.
Oh shit! It's 90% rain on Monday. God damn it. Is that the aftermath of fucking Hurricane Michael? Oh, by the way, I think Hurricane Michael is one of my topics in my cheat sheet. But it's it's kind of cool. So basically, no more shorts, and I'll have to wear the my jersey, you know, and my jacket. While we are on this topic of weather, maybe we should just discuss. Maybe we should discuss. Hold on a second. I'm sorry. I have just sent my sister a text message. She's saying good night. Good night. She's one of my great sisters. So yeah, so that's the weather report from Siri, right? Although Siri can be fucking annoying sometimes, right? If you ask Siri a question that actually she doesn't understand, and then she gets annoying. So Hurricane Michael, right? So it started off with a fucking category what? Category like a fucking category 2 on when was that fucking Tuesday? I think it started off Tuesday, yeah, as a category category 2, right? I think Monday or Tuesday, one of those. And then it made the landfall at the panhandle of Florida towards I think Wednesday night, and then it just fucking poured and devastated the whole fucking, you know, like coastal area. And it apparently became a category 4. Can you fucking believe that? It became a fucking category 4. And people are basically struggling now. They've lost everything, basically. Even like the schools are gone. All the roofs are gone. Even like basically it made the whole fucking thing plain field. It was like a mother of fucking hurricanes. Carolinas had just had Florence, and on top of that, Michael also went through Carolinas, but luckily it went towards Atlantic instead of coming up towards like northeast. So I guess we got lucky, but not the Floridans, not the fucking Floridans, and especially in what is that town called? Mexico Beach and Panama City and all those towns. Those are level fill by fucking Michael. God damn it, dude. These fucking hurricanes and I said this before that climate change is real. So you fucks out there who don't believe that, there you go. Speaking of which, actually, there is an international consortium on climate change or something like that. They actually came up with a report, I think that 50-page report, in which they said that if we don't limit the global warming to below 1.5 degrees Celsius, by the time 2030, the planet will have devastating effects, including weather disasters, flooding of the cities, rising sea levels, and all that. So this is real. This is real. I'm telling you. Guys. We only have like 10 years, 12 at most. If we don't make drastic changes, including getting rid of all the fucking fossil fuel oils and switching to renewable energy and all that, right? Exactly, yeah. So that's that's something that is very important. Obviously, we don't have anywhere to go, and maybe that's why people like Elon Musk, right? People like Elon Musk, yeah, Ginger. People like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and all these billionaires are planning to colonize. Well, I shouldn't be using the word colonize, but having Mars as a second home. Because we human beings are fucking it up this planet. Through burning fossil fuel oils, through factories and all that. A large carbon footprint, melting of the Antarctic ice at an alarming rate. So yeah, that's my take on Michael. I'm sorry, I apologize. I didn't mean to go on a rant on this one, but I guess I have to say something, right? I mean, I feel really bad for the people who actually are dead. Apparently, 18 people are dead now, and they're still searching for people. Although there's no water on the ground, but still, no, they're no standing homes. It's like a fucking plain field, dude. It's like a post-apocalyptic, like fucking coastal towns. If you look at the photos or the videos, some people have posted, it's fucking like unbelievable. It's like unreal. Just like what happened in fucking California, right, with the wildfires. Yeah, this is climate change. Sorry, man. Every other gender associates. We can't run away from this. If we don't do anything now, we are fucked. We are fucked, I'm telling you right now. I'm not a scientist or a weatherman or, I don't work for NOAA or NASA, but it's obvious. There's obvious things which are happening, and those obvious things are telling us that we gotta take action. There you go. As an individual, what we can do, I guess we can eat meat less, right? We can cut down on eating meat because that also generates a lot of like, what is it? Fucking is that what is that fucking gas? Ammonia? You get my point, right? Um, and if you drive, then maybe you should take the fucking public transport. Although in this country, public transport is a shit show. Even in New York, where we have the greatest subway, but it becomes a shit show sometimes. It's like 25 minutes. Next train is like fucking 25 minutes. I'm like, fuck this shit. The other day I was, going to a job site, and then in Williamsburg, and then coming back from Williamsburg is a fucking nightmare. I actually picked up as a car to go, and I drove up there, right? Not a problem. There was a little traffic, but then I got there in like maybe 20 minutes. But then I didn't want to drive the car to go into the city, So I said, all right, so let me go and take the L train. So L train is already a fucking shit show. L train, is gonna fucking shut down, right? In 2019, which is next year, they're gonna fucking shut down. So they're already doing work around L train. I saw at the entrance on Bedford North 7th. So I go down there, right? I go down there, and then they have the fucking, the screen where it says, okay, so next train. I'm looking at the screen to see when is the next train to fucking Manhattan. It's coming, right? 14 minutes. I'm like, fuck this shit. 14 fucking minutes, and this is a weekday. This is a fucking weekday at 3 o'clock. Why is it fucking 14 minutes? I'm like, fuck this shit. And then so what I did was I came out, and then I walked over to, I think I walked over to Roebling in Williamsburg, and then I hailed a cab, right? I told him, listen, take the BQE down to fucking Brooklyn Bridge, and jump on the bridge, and then take the FDR Drive south to Broad Street, make a right in Broad Street, go all the way as much as you can towards the barricade, towards Stock Exchange, right? New York Stock Exchange, because that's where my office is. I mean, near my office is near Stock Exchange. And then I realized, I'm looking at my emails, and I'm realizing that the guy took fucking Williamsburg Bridge instead of taking, and he's going on the fucking Delancey. And there's so much fucking traffic. I'm like, dude, I told you to take FDR Drive. I mean BQE to fucking FDR Drive. I mean to Brooklyn Bridge to FDR Drive. Why did you fucking take the fucking, Williamsburg Bridge? He's like, how are we gonna go down? He has that fucking accent. I'm like, dude, just drop me off, okay? Just fucking drop me off anywhere, right? So then what I do is, so I pay. I think I paid like $10 and maybe 80 cents, and then I get off, and then I walk over to fucking J and Z train, right? On fucking Delancey, right? And then I go down to the subway, and then I missed, like, by 1 minute. I missed the fucking train. I saw the train going towards Broad Street, right? And I missed it by like a fucking 1 minute, dude. Maybe not even a minute, right? 40 seconds, right? I'm like, fuck. And so I go, so then I go down, right? And then I look at the screen to see when is the next train, right? And it says the next train to Broad Street is 25 minutes. I'm like, fuck this shit as well. I can't fucking wait 25 minutes. I got a lot of fucking work to do. I have to get back to the fucking office, right? I said, okay, so I don't want to take a fucking cab because I was at Delancey by Bowery. I'm like, fuck this shit. Um, so I waited my options and I'm like, okay, you know what? Taking a cab would be a nightmare in the traffic, right? I think this was Friday or Thursday, one of those, right? And it was Thursday, yeah. I remember the Thursday. And and so what I did was I realized that I was actually close to fucking Soho, right? So I said, fuck this shit. So I walk over to fucking Lafayette Street, right, by Spring, and then I catch the 6th train. 3 fucking minutes, dude. 3 fucking minutes, and the 6th train shows up. And then I take fucking 6th train to Fulton, and then from there, from to City Hall, right, Brooklyn Bridge, and then from there I catch the 4th train, and it takes me like an hour and 15 minutes to get back to the fucking office. See, this is exactly why I fucking hate trains, and that's why I need my car back. Oh, by the way, the update on smart car, I called the Mercedes-Benz yesterday. I said, listen, can I bring it today so you guys can actually take a look? The lady was like, you can bring it, you can tow it, but we won't be able to service it or do diagnostic until Monday. I'm like, fuck that. I'll rather keep it in the car, in the parking lot. And I'm like, okay, so I should rather do that on Monday. So Monday, which is the day after tomorrow, I think I'm going to call the AAA and get a truck. But I have to get the fucking car out of the fucking parking lot. And that's the other problem. I just don't have time because I have a lot of work. But I got to do something. I got to take it to Mercedes-Benz in Manhattan. All right, so 27 minutes, ladies and gents. So that was the fucking story, right? Oh, by the way, I told you guys I ordered a robot. It actually arrived sooner than October 15th. And this is the keypad, right? It's one of those like 16-inch, but it's a nice toy. Turn right, turn left, slide forward, move forward. It walks like, and then it dances too. It fucking dances, and you can play music. Oh, and it also shoots darts. Obviously, those are not real darts. But it does. It's fun. It's fun. It's one of my first robots, and it's fun. So yeah. So I checked on my emails to see. I just wanted to track it. Like on I think it was Thursday or Wednesday. Wednesday, I think. There was a lot of fucking rain, and then I wanted to just track it down to see if they would be delivering it on October 15th, and then Google Shopping, Google Express, yeah. So they told me that it was already delivered. I'm like, fuck this shit, holy shit. So this was like midnight night. So I get up and then I go down to the first floor and then I find it. So they had already delivered, and then I basically brought it up, unboxed it, but I didn't use that because I needed the batteries. And it was kind of late, so I needed the AAA batteries. It was kind of late, so next day I basically picked up some batteries, from the fucking Rite Aid, right? And then I used it for the first time. It's fun. It's fucking fun. These robots are fun. You know? So yeah, I think you can also program it. I don't know. I mean, I have to learn that. Although the manual, right, uses manual is not that great. It's not very informative. It's not very informative. No. But in any case, so yeah, I received that. It's sitting actually down there near the outlet because that's where I actually, I plug it in to charge. So it has its own batteries inside, it's rechargeable. Right, so all you have to do is to basically just plug it in through USB and then it gets charged. There you go. So that's my take on my first robot. You guys check it out. I will maybe post a video or something. I took a video last night actually, it's shooting darts. It's fun. But in any case, so yeah, robots are fun if you are into those, you know. They are not like the robots that give you a company or anything. No, they're just machines, you know. Is that the fucking thing that all these fucking tech guys are afraid of? I'm not. It's not gonna happen in my lifetime, so who fucking cares that AI is gonna fucking take over the fucking world? Yeah, I don't give a shit, man. I just enjoy playing with my toy. What else is going on, everyone, huh? How is everyone doing? Good? Yeah, so it's kind of midnight and 32 minutes. And I don't want to go on and on about. However, at the same time, I do want to cover a lot of great topics in my cheat sheet, right? Yeah, exactly. All right. Yeah, I was also listening to Joe Rogan. He's a great podcaster. Oh yeah, so Joe Rogan Friday, right? I think that was it Friday. Friday, yeah. So I think it was his Friday's podcast. He brought in guess who as his guest? Roseanne Barr. She's a fucking crazy woman, dude. She's a fucking crazy woman. And the way she went crazy is that she was actually when she was 15 or 16, she was walking and then she was hit by a car and she had a head injury. That fucks you up, man. That fucking fucks you up. I think that's what it was. So and then she was hospitalized and she was in a mental institution. She was telling, I was in Joe Rogan. That fucking fucks you up, man. You have a head injury. Speaking of which, apparently there is an amoeba, right? I was reading on fucking CNN, right, .com, that there's an amoeba that actually lives at the bottom of these sweetwater lakes, which are really warm, right? Which get really warm. That amoeba is called N. fowleri, or one of those fucking names, right? Apparently, if you're swimming in those waters, which I never fucking do, and now that I know what the fuck happens, I will never do. That apparently somehow it gets into your brain through your nostrils, right? And then once it gets into your brain, it starts eating your brain, and then there is a 97% chance that you will die. I'm like, dude, what the fuck, dude? Fuck that shit, right? So there have been some incidences. I think I was reading that in New Jersey, some teenage kid died because of that. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? And then I was thinking about my sisters, what happened to her. But we got lucky, you know. It was not an amoeba, but she had that fucking malaria. What the fuck it's called? It's a protozoa, or whatever the fuck it is, dude. But she is 100% back now, and I was really glad to see her, you know, in her life is back to normal, you know, and that she eats well, she sleeps well, she has a nice apartment, and it's very quiet actually. It's quieter than obviously mine because mine is on 4th floor, so I can still hear. It's not that bad, but you know, sometimes ACs and all that. But now the ACs are off because of the weather, so now it's kind of quiet. You know, the restaurants and all that, right? But still, I sleep in my second bedroom because that's where it's really quiet. All right, 36 minutes and 10 seconds. You want some barbecue chips, huh? You know what it was? That I had that fucking potato chips last night. I remember now why I woke up at like fucking 4 o'clock, you know? Because I went to bed really late. And I'm like, why did I? Not super late, but I think I went to bed around like 1 o'clock, maybe 1:20. And then I wake up at like 4 or something. Like, I'm like, fuck this shit. Why did I wake up, you know? And then I go back to sleep and I wake up to around like 11. And then I was thinking about it. Why I fucking woke up. I mean, it wasn't the nightmares and anything like that, right? Then I realized that I was eating salt and vinegar potato chips. Salt and fucking vinegar. That fucking vinegar messes up with my fucking stomach, dude. Anything vinegarish, it just fucks up my fucking stomach. You know, I think I have kind of a weak stomach towards like acidic things. So vinegar is very acidic, you know. So and then yeah, so even when I woke up around 11 o'clock, right after I went back to sleep, I was kind of feeling shitty. I'm like, dude, because when I wake up, I usually drink a lot of like fucking orange juice and water. But I was still feeling like kind of shitty. I didn't have a hangover, but I had, I don't know, it was like, I was feeling weird. Then later that day, when I got my sandwich and all that, and I felt really better. Later that day, I thought and I realized, oh shit, you know, that fucking. I was kind of wary when I bought that last night from Paris Bouquet, you know, that place in the fucking corner. I was kind of wary, and I'm like, dude, do you really want to like eat this fucking shit? Means these fucking chips with vinegar in them. But somehow I did, and then I suffered. Fuck that, dude. Fuck that, dude. Alright, it's 12:40 a.m. So basically now is October 13th. Not October 12th, so here we go. Right? Barbecue chips are good. Barbecue does not have fucking vinegar in it. Right? I hope so. Let's see ingredients. Potatoes, safflower, sunflower, organic paprika. Paprika, I'm not too concerned. Garlic powder, Tyrolean chili pepper, natural flavor. Okay, so no fucking vinegar. So that's good. All right. So I guess I can sleep like a fucking baby tonight, right? Hopefully. Right? Right. My sister told me that she sleeps really well, so that's good. It's very It's very quiet. She has an apartment on 25th floor, kind of in the back. But that area of Long Island City is now like a fucking shit show, dude. You know why? They have now like a lot of like upscale restaurants, upscale bars in those like really tall buildings, right, along the waterfront. So there's a lot of fucking traffic, dude. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And there are guys who actually work for the restaurants, and they actually wear these fucking jackets that says valet, so they can basically park you at valet, right? There are parking lots there, but people who don't want to park in the parking lots, they can park at valet. I don't know how that fucking works. I guess you have to pay them, right? Pay the restaurant, where the fuck it is. But if you're a group of like 10, if you're spending like fucking like $50 per person, that's $500 right there, right? For the group. So there you go. I don't think you need to pay any fucking valet for that. But in any case, it's like that area has become like what I call it, like a sort of not a Times Square, but like I don't know. It has become very cosmopolitan. Cosmopolitan, is that the word I want to use? Yeah, it has become kind of cosmopolitan in a sense that a lot of tall buildings, people with families, a lot of like upscale restaurants, upscale bars, uh, etc., etc. And it's along East River with great views of Manhattan skyline. So there you go. But that's going to happen all along the waterfront. Greenpoint, Williamsburg. Williamsburg has already been. All those areas, they're going to be fucking sprouting like fucking mushrooms. It's already happened, right? There you go. Because that area used to be industrial. Now now you can build high-rise buildings in there. Zoning change and all that, right? All right, so it's 42 minutes, so let's just get into my cheat sheet. I presume you all are relating to the topics that I'm going to talk about, and in general, and enjoying your Saturday night, whatever the hell you're doing, right? You fox out there. All right. My first topic in my cheat sheet is the movie I watched was Geostorm. Geostorm with what's his name? Gerald. What the fuck his name is, right? Geostorm. So they're trying to avoid a catastrophic event where the planet was going to be killed by these operatives who have all these codes, and they have the International Space Station. Although International Space Station in that movie is much more like a ship, and it's much bigger, larger. That's what I wanted to use. That's the word I wanted to use. It's much larger than the International Space Station we have now. Because right now we have a piece of junk. But in any case, so that's an interesting movie. I don't think it made a lot of money, so I think it was a box office bomb, right, for the amount of money they spent. So yeah, check out Geostorm. No spoiler alerts. And so with that said, the graphics are not that great. Acting is great by Gerald and what's the other guy's name? And then the lady, what's her name? Shit, I forgot. Sorry. My next topic is upstate limo crash. Okay, so I really feel bad for the families who lost their loved ones in an upstate New York limo crash. Apparently, the limo driver did not have a license on one of those fucking things. Right? He crashed into a standing car, and then it went down a ditch, and then basically killed like 20 people. Many of them were young and they were partying. Not that they were drunk or anything like that, but they were like newlywed and all that. So yeah, you can look it up. I feel really bad for the loved ones. My next topic is a new climate report. I think I mentioned that already when I was rambling and ranting about climate change. The new climate report by the International Consortium. You can look it up on BBC or even Google. It's a 50-page report that outlines if we don't take these steps. I don't think that they actually are supposed to do that. They just say that, listen, this is what's happening. They don't recommend what should be done. I don't think they do. That is done based on their report. That is done by individual governments and their implementing agencies, such as in case of our it's EPA, and then the state level, and then the local level, right? Yeah. So if you don't do anything to curb the global temperature rise to under 1.5 degrees Celsius, we are fucked. That's it. We're fucked. All right. My next topic: Scandinavia extreme BS. What the fuck is extreme BS? Scandinavia extreme BS. Scandinavia? What the hell is that? Scandinavia. Extreme BS. Oh, I think I know what. I think BS means bullshit. I guess this is what I was saying. I think the topic actually covers about the you know how they actually are extremely fucking liberal. And remember what happened in Norway in 2011 when this fucking killer killed like more than 70 people, including kids. Now they are actually so fucking liberal, acting like fucking liberal, that they want to give him like university education. Like, fuck that dude. This guy killed 70 something people. You want to give him like fucking university education in what? In what? He should have been fucking hanged. You know? These Nordic countries, man. They are a fucking hypocrisy. I believe. My brother lives there with, Sweden. But like countries like Norway, I don't know, man. That's so fucking liberal in their approach towards like violence and all that. Huh? Fuck that bullshit, dude. He should have been shot in the fucking head. Who's going to Who's going to fucking respond to all the loved ones who lost their kids, their relatives, their friends in that fucking violence, act of violence in one day? He should have been fucking hung. Hanged? Hung? Is that what it is? That's it? Yeah. Fuck that bullshit, dude. Fuck that fucking liberal, like, fucking jazz. I don't fucking believe in that. Right? You kill fucking 70 people, and you want to give you, and now we want to give you a university education after like 6 years of fucking prison. Right? No. These fucking skinheads. Alright. My next topic. Hurricane Michael, right? Okay, so I think I ranted on that one. And I really feel bad for people who got killed in this fucking natural disaster. And people who lost their homes and everything else. You know, this is like an extreme weather event. And we're gonna get more of these, so human beings, be prepared for that, because obviously we have fucked up the planet, so the planet is going to fucking spew us into the fucking space until we fucking learn, or come up with a plan to settle down in Mars as our second home, which is going to happen, nevertheless, as we have left the jungles of Africa or the caves of fucking Europe, right? I think that's gonna happen. That's our nature. Unless who was saying that? Unless we come up with the technology where we download our fucking brains into a fucking computer, and the whole planet becomes a virtual reality. Nobody gives a shit about Mars. Nobody gives even shit about like living, physically eating, and all that. Everything is virtual. I don't know. That's very far from happening. So it's already 52 minutes, so let's just get into my next topic, everyone. I presume you all are having a great weekend, and enjoy what the hell you're doing, right? Virgin Galactic. Speaking of space travel and all that, Virgin Galactic, as you know, a company owned by Richard Branson. They have plans and all that, but they are coming up with a plan to actually take people into space, commercial flights to space, which Elon Musk is doing, as you know, through his SpaceX. He's taking the Japanese billionaire around the moon. Him, Jeff Bezos, and all these billionaires, without repeating myself, are already doing that. So that's going to happen. So Virgin Galactic, check it out, Google it, and then you can see for yourself how they're going to fucking do that. Right? Alright, my next topic, Brexit. As you know, Brexit is apparently becoming a shit show with the border with the Northern Ireland, although I'm not very familiar with that. I haven't looked into that. But Brexit is happening with Britain wanting to basically just take off from European Union. And there's a lot of fucking complications in that one, for obvious reasons. Trade and whatnot, right? I'm not an expert on that, so don't quote me, but I was just reading an article on BBC about Theresa May and what she is doing in terms of the negotiations and all that with her European Union's leaders and all that, right? All right, look it up. My next topic, my first bot, which is my first robot. I already talked about that. Here's the control panel. Fucking amazing. You know, it walks on the floor. It does all kinds of things, including dancing and music and all that, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so yeah, if you guys are into robots, you should buy one of those. Yeah, look it up on Google. It's only fucking $44. It's not like $1,000 that I spent on this. $44, and it's a decent robot, right? All right. So my next and second last topic. Is that what I wanted to say? Topic. Drone hunting. Okay, so there are a lot of drones which are rogue, right? And also used by some of these fucking criminals to you know, have drugs and weapons delivered into fucking prisons. That, and then some of these other rogue drones, they you know, they clash with the clash not yeah they clash with airplanes, and the airplanes are having problems. So these all these aviation authorities have come up with um, these these technologies where you have you know, you have this like fucking, it's all fucking like one of those, like it's like a missile thing, right? It's not a missile thing, but where, you know, you can, one of the technologies is that once you find, you know, we'll find out that there's a drone up there, right, where the fuck it is doing, and what they do is that they basically just shoot a net at it. They shoot a net at the drone, and then basically the net captures the drone, right? Another technology I'm trying to remember, I was reading this on BBC, you can look it up. These rogue drones, right? Um, by using by authorities, because it's obviously it's interacting with the airplanes, and also, you know, fucking delivering fucking drugs to these fucking prisons, right? By these fucking criminals. All right, my last topic is already 57 minutes 47 seconds, ladies and gents, and every other gender associates, is opportunity rover. Okay, so opportunity rover is, you know, is one of those rovers that was actually sent to Mars for obvious reasons of study, right, by NASA. But then NASA never heard anything since June from Opportunity rover, so apparently it has been either malfunctioning or it's just plain and simple dead. So there was an article where, you know, some guy or some lady was trying to be funny, just, you know, basically sending a letter directly to Opportunity rover. Hey, Opportunity rover, we haven't heard from you since June. I hope everything's okay. You have been doing a good job, blah blah blah. You know, it's a funny article. You guys will look it up. It's already 58 minutes. It's already 58 minutes and 59 actually, and 6 seconds. And with that, I'm gonna close out my podcast. I presume you all relate to many of the topics that I discussed or covered. And I'll see you all in a week on Saturday night or the Sunday night.